Hopeless Fan Podcast, Thursday, November 7th, the year of our Lord 2019. It's Shelby, it's Scotty, it's Zack remotely. He's in Florida, and Nathan will join us later for Boardwalk. How's everybody
Fellas,
doing?
how we doing?
Fellas, how we doing?
That's the Shelby thing after the intro.
I love it. Fellas, how we doing?
Dude, I'm broke because they're all on open bets. So
yeah, that's tough. It's you don't know how you're doing. You don't know how you're doing. Ask me in an hour.
I'll be great in an hour when we're profiting. And how often does that work out after I say we're about to profit on a podcast? Almost never.
Yeah, the last time I loved this board so much, I needed to take out a loan. Zack, how's Florida? Everything goes in Florida.
Yep. It's fantastic. Kind of hot, but such is reality.
Are the snowbirds there yet?
Oh yeah, they're everywhere.
Oh, sexy.
TNF talk.
The average age down here has got to be like 87.
Okay.
Hot.
You fit right in.
Zack, that's your lifestyle.
Yeah. You're going to be like in Jimmy Buffett clothes like in like 20 years drinking vodka and Coke Zeros.
I mean, that is the dream.
I just want to pickle my organs and slowly boil myself in a hot tub and die at the ripe old age of 71.
Your organs can't be in great shape anyway, so...
How about no arms, Kevin? Living without any arms or legs is basically how you live right now. You don't do anything. That's Zack.
That's Scotty's quote. Scotty knows The Office better than anyone on this pod. So.
Yeah, I am the biggest office guy.
If you have a question about The Office or the Joker movie...
Just ask me.
Ask Scotty. That's what
I'm editing this part. I'm editing this part out.
Okay, can't hear you, Zack. Okay, TNF talk. Chargers, Raiders. I'm going to miss the black hole, especially on primetime games. This is the last chance you're going to see it. People are going to be dressed up. The Raiders are kind of good, question mark. I think they are.
Yeah, I'm literally not going to miss it. It's a dump, dude.
Well,
it's a baseball field. It's gross. I hate playing there, especially on primetime. Even when my team does well, it feels dirty.
But it's not a baseball field anymore.
Okay. But you know what I mean? Playing in the dirt, it's a dump.
I like how every athlete is like, yeah, we walk into the black hole and it's like we're getting stuff thrown at us and batteries are thrown at us.
Yeah, back in the day, it was
no,
more
they said
epic.
It's the same way.
But Russell Okung said like
on the Doug Gottlieb show.
Yeah, did you hear about it?
Yeah.
He was just like, it's a crazy experience because you just go in and all you smell is weed.
But like, I wonder what the crowd's going to look like because the Raiders are probably going to get the 10 o'clock Monday night primetime game next year in Vegas.
Those suck, and Broncos always are.
Oh,
stuck
I love
with that.
those.
I
love those. But
I love them.
I wonder
Denver isn't.
Yeah, I wonder what the crowd's going to look like. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So is there going to be diehards in Vegas, or they just moved to Vegas because it's a flashy movie?
Right.
Zack, who do you like tonight?
I like the Chargers. I think Derwin James is back, isn't he?
No, not yet. Against the Broncos.
Zack's already
gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you know what? I'm on the right track. But anyways,
stay out plugging up the middle. It's like a shotgun blast to the
Sean Merriman's going off tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Chargers. Coming off that big game against the Packers last week, it would be such a Raiders thing for them to have that great win like they did last week, and then just they go win loss the rest of the season. Maybe.
Zach, you sent us a DM with your pick, with your picks, and it literally fades both of our picks.
Yeah,
we literally love the Raiders +1 or +2, whatever the line's at.
Get a home dog,
and then I love the over.
Love the over.
Oh.
Well, somebody's making money tonight.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Oh, unless it's like
1-2,
the Chargers
1-2.
in the over.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I don't know.
Yeah,
I didn't bet
that's
the
true.
over, but I like the over.
I have it separate and over. That's
whatever.
Lower.
That's what I like though. That's
okay.
what we like.
All right. So I think we've touched on it enough. Phillip Rivers has 9 kids. Anything else?
Tyrell Williams revenge game.
No one's talking about it.
No one's talking.
I feel like we're the only ones talking about it, and that concerns me.
Because we bet a prop on it.
I didn't.
Over
3.5?
Oh, I bet that. Easy.
All right. Now I am.
Revenge dogs are hungrier.
Revenge dogs run faster. A revenge dog knows where to sniff for a bone.
Oh, yes. Revenge dog always knows its roots.
Revenge dog barks louder against the team he used to play for.
You're going to beat me at this every time.
Revenge dog.
Stop.
Michael Vick joke in there.
He's already dead.
Okay. All right, I'll bet that prop. For your reference, Who wants to hear about a 4-year reference? Nathan does. Zach, are you ready for this? Nathan, this is especially for him. The Browns are 2-6, Super Bowl favorite still.
What?
Yeah, I just assume
Oh,
everyone's
yeah.
on the Browns.
In Cleveland, yeah.
Yeah, 2-6. I will give $20, maybe. I will give $1 to whoever can name the only team to ever make the playoffs after going 2-6 to start the year. And they actually started 1-6.
How can you give us the year?
19. I'll give you a range.
The decade. Yeah, give us the decade.
70s.
The 70s. Oh, shoot. Okay.
You got to get the year and the team. I don't trust Zach on his phone doing stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want
Zach
to
is
see that
away. We
search
can't see
history.
Even if I looked it up on my phone, I'd probably still get it right. I mean, wrong.
Yeah.
So.
Man, is it the Bengals?
It is the Bengals.
Let's go!
But you got to get the year right.
77.
It's 1970.
Oh.
Yeah. They started 1-6, won the division, what have you. So, Nathan, not looking good for the Browns, even though everyone's still like, we have an easy schedule coming up. Kareem Hunt's back. Oh, Nick Chubb. Baker's shaved his stash.
Well, if they lose this week to the Bills, it's over.
I think it's already is over.
I mean, yeah, me too. Even if they win out, it could be over.
Yeah, 10-6 might not get you. Probably get you in, but they might lose the Ravens.
Will it?
I don't know. Yeah, who knows? We'll have to see. But yeah, so not looking good for the Browns. Zach, you can pick what segment we do next because we have plenty. Just to run out of the show, we're going to do irrational reactions because we didn't have a Monday show.
Yeah.
Doghouse of the week.
Doghouse of the week.
Boardwalk. Zach's lock of the week of the century. Snake picks. I think we'll go Doghouse of the week. Thanks. Good choice, Zach.
Real quick. Can we talk about the Bills for a second and their remaining schedule? They could very well go 11-6.
11-6.
So they're losing in the first round of the playoffs?
Or 11-5. Sorry, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Also, yes, 11-6, losing the first round of the playoffs. But I'm just saying they could have 11 wins.
Yeah.
What?
Which the quarterback that they have is crazy.
Fire off their schedule.
Well, they got the Jets. They got the Jets and the Dolphins one more time each. They got the Patriots. Then they
have they played the Dolphins even once yet?
Yeah, they beat them the onside kick gate.
Right. Oh, how could I forget that? Actually?
Yeah. They'll have to play the Cowboys. They'll have to play. They already lost to the Eagles. They beat the Giants.
Gotcha.
They beat the Redskins. So they have to play the Browns. That's 5. Yeah. They have to play the Steelers. That's 6. They had to play the Ravens. That's 7. Yeah. So there's 7.
Yeah. They could go Browns, Dolphins, Broncos. I think they beat the Browns, the Dolphins, the Broncos, lose to the Cowboys, lose to the Ravens, beat the Steelers, lose to the Patriots, beat the Jets.
That's what I was saying about.
That's good.
That's what I was saying about. It's like not all rebuilds are made equally because like last year it was like Vontae Davis was retiring. The Bills were the worst team ever.
Yeah,
and they actually ended the year on a high note. Now they're like destined to probably get the 5 seed.
Right.
Well, I think the thing that helped them the most was the rest of their division being so bad. The fact that they are automatic 2 wins or 4 wins against the Dolphins and the Jets.
I don't know. They almost lost to the Dolphins at home, and they should have lost to the Jets. So,
before Zach fired off the individual games, I believed it, but I think they finish the year with a total like 10-6 or 9-7.
And I'll get into it when the boardwalk about the Bills because Bills Browns is one of our games. So we'll go to Doghouse of the week. Khalil Mack.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah.
Khalil Mack.
Hope he moves.
Yeah, that was good. Khalil Mack didn't give out candy on Halloween.
What a monster.
And he had a guard at the end of his driveway saying, "This house is not participating in Halloween." It's like, you have so much money. You could have easily had that guard go buy like full-size candy bars and pass them out. It's like total doghouse. And like Scotty alluded to, the guy filming it was great. He's just like, wow, that's
he's
crazy.
The only one on the neighborhood. Hope he moves.
Yeah, hope he moves. So, yeah, officially Khalil Mack on the trade block. A lot of people are asking.
Fans in Chicago do not like non-trick-or-treat participants.
Zach, top 3 candies you would hand out on Halloween.
If you get this wrong, I don't know.
You can't miss one. Go.
Snickers.
Okay.
Reese's.
Have to.
Yep.
And I like $100,000.
No matter what you like.
A lot of people like $100,000, but I like $100,000.
That's terrible.
I'm a big caramel guy.
Zach, that's terrible.
That's terrible. You
That's
could have said
awful.
you could have said 19 other candies besides $100,000, and it would have been.
Yeah, but I like $100,000. So,
That's so selfish of you to only think about yourself when you're literally handing it out.
Well, I know, but like I'm gonna eat half of the bag while
I don't
also
doubt that.
handing it out. Yeah.
I'd hand out Skittles.
Yeah, Skittles.
Bag Skittles.
I had rainbow Skittles for the first time the other day. They're so freaking.
What? Rainbow Skittles.
They're like
Isn't
tropical,
that just Skittles?
tropical fruit.
Oh.
Tropical fruit. Tropical berry. My bad. That's what it is.
Yeah, like the purple.
Yeah.
Purple packaging. Yeah.
The sour ones are good. You could have said Twix. You could have said Kit Kat.
Sour Patch Kids.
Sour Patch Kids. Swedish Fish. M&Ms. Mini M&Ms.
But he went with $100,000.
$100,000.
Zach,
You are 87 and living in Florida, eating $100,000, sitting in a hot tub, like watching people on Facebook.
We need to
but
make
not posting anything.
When we make it big and this podcast turns into a studio, we're gonna have a board of the worst Zach takes.
Yeah.
Matthew
Stafford would have been out of the league without Calvin Johnson
4 years ago.
Yeah. $100,000 bars.
Hand out on Halloween.
As his number 3 seed in the candy bar bracket. What did he just say? Derwin James coming back 2 weeks early. Zach Thomas being a Dolphins linebacker still.
Yeah. Giving you a hard time, Zach. $100,000. I haven't even had it, but I don't know.
That ain't it, Chief.
That ain't it.
You have a doghouse, Scotty?
Yeah, cats.
Of course.
Because the cat ran onto the field.
MetLife.
Yeah, MetLife. It kind of cursed him.
Curses.
That's hilarious.
Curses are in the doghouse.
So I kind of like the Jets this week now. I've talked myself into that now.
It makes sense, but I think it makes too much sense that I'm on the Giants.
But also, flip flop. They both play in New York.
Yeah, exactly.
So I mean, it ran up both their home.
This
fields.
is honestly a pick 'em until next week. Then you fade the Giants.
Yeah,
On their bye week, you take the bye week +2.
Yeah, no, but cats. Fuck cats. Are we in agreement?
That's fair.
Zach, do you like cats?
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate them.
Hell no. Cats are the worst.
Cats are the worst.
Kittens are okay, I guess, but just
kittens are
regular
okay for
cats.
like a week or like a day, and then I'm over a kitten. Get out of my face. Don't touch me. Don't look at me. Oh, you want to knock shit over?
Oh, yeah. You can poop inside the house, but you choose to do it on the carpet. Cool, bro.
Literally, the cat will own you.
Yeah.
And like, cat's like, I don't give a shit if you.
I don't know. You have a dog that kind of owns you, right?
Yeah, but I love her.
Right, because it's a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like if you see a cat on the side of the road, everyone's just like, "Oh, look at that cat just rummaging through shit."
The dog brings you so much joy, where a cat doesn't give a shit besides ruin your shit.
If you see a dog, it's like, "Oh my god, there's a missing dog." If you see a cat, it's like, "Oh, look at that cat."
Yeah, exactly.
All right, you guys want to do Zach's lock of the week? Get that out of the way.
Oh, I've been waiting all week for Zach's lock of the week.
Zach, you're 4-5, right?
I know. I'm in big trouble.
Lions +2 Lions money line last week didn't hit.
Screwed me on the last play of the game.
You're better than I thought you would be 9 weeks in when you picked Tennessee money line week 1 and faded the Browns hype.
Yeah.
So I condemn you for it, but
yeah, that's the thing is that he hit on 2 straight money line dogs that he's still up. He's 4-5 and he's still up.
Yeah.
So Zach, what are you taking this week?
All right. I'm gonna have to go with go against my better judgment and say that the Bengals are covering the 10.5 point spread. They played it. It wasn't like close from like a competitive standpoint, but points wise, it was close last time.
Yeah.
And I think the Ravens coming off this, the soaring, flying high, coming off this win against the Patriots. I think they they bounce back to snap back to reality.
They'll win.
There goes gravity.
Bengals can cover.
Here's the for your reference. The Ravens are the first team ever to beat an 8-0 team and then face an 0-8 team. So this is the biggest trap game in NFL history. So
has to be
10.5. I like that's a good handicap.
But has anyone played a 9-0 team and then played an 0-9 team?
Unconclusive, inconclusive, deconclusive.
Gotcha.
I think not. That would be hard to do. All right. So Zach's log of the week. Cash it in. Who Day, Paul Brown Stadium rocking. There's going to be about 50,000 people there to see Ryan Finley, the future, take down the Ravens and cover the 10.5. All right. Nathan, get your ugly ass over here. Because it's Scotty and Shelby and they're taking a stroll. Here comes Nathan and they're ready to roll on the boardwalk. They're talking spreads. It's a boardwalk.
What's the betting trend?
Nathan likes the over. We love the under. We're bringing the thunder on the boardwalk. Nathan, how are you?
I'm great. How are you guys?
Good. We're moving the mic.
Better
Yeah,
until
radio.
you showed up. Okay.
That's dark, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I don't care. Okay. Our first game. We go to the team that screwed Zack last week. Detroit plus 2.5 at Chicago, minus 2.5. Over-unders 41.5 in Windy City of Chicago, right on the lake that is called, what lake is that?
Michigan?
Is it Lake Michigan? It's Lake Michigan.
It is Lake Michigan.
Navy Pier,
Yes, it is.
A lot of stuff. Harry Carey's bars there. A lot of stuff going on. Nathan, we'll start with you.
Well, I think this is an interesting one. I have been riding the Detroit Lions hype since very early on, and they gave me a very solid win. I believe that was week 2.
Against the Eagles.
Against the Eagles, it was indeed. So, I've been really high on them all year. We're continuing that trend this week. Detroit 2.5. But let me say this. This game for me is weather dependent. And so for those trying to tail me on this bet, this could sway my opinion depending on the weather that day in Chicago. A nasty, rainy, cold day. I don't love the Lions anymore. I'm not about them. But I'll say that right now, just standard, Chicago weather, a little windy, but it's in the 40s and 50s, not raining. I'm taking the Lions in this one. The Lions have been held under 20 points just once this season. They rank 5th in total offense and 3rd in passing yards per game, and that's what I worry about in some bad weather. And while the Bears' defense is great, Chicago just can't move the ball.
Struggling to run the ball, the Lions are since Kerryon Johnson went down.
Correct.
Yeah, Ty Johnson hasn't been good, but that's a solid handicap by Nathan. Gave you the weather. He said if there's a material change, what the weather is, how much it changes. We're doing this on a Thursday. Anything can happen. There could be a bunch of rain, fog bowl happens again. Good handicap by Nathan. He likes the Lions. Scotty, who do you like?
I like the Lions plus 2.5 too.
Ooh.
But my handicap is a lot less analytical as always. I just have
going off feel again.
I have a great time betting.
The old feel.
I have a great time betting against Mitchell Trubisky. Bears continue to implode. It's all Detroit. They play great. Unfortunately Detroit has lost a lot of close games that they could have won, should have won.
Kansas City, Arizona, Oakland last week.
Yeah.
They're the NFC Chargers.
Exactly.
Yep.
Or Broncos.
And they beat the Chargers.
and that's the thing. So I just I think they're better than the Bears straight up. I think the Bears defense is overhyped. Give me the Lions in Chicago.
All right, it's a consensus pick for all of us. I like Detroit plus 2.5. Here's my handicap. Bears defense versus Philadelphia. Carson Wentz, solid game. Jordan Howard, Miles Sanders combined for 124 yards. Chargers game against the Bears. An INT off of Phillip Rivers by Fuller. What's his first name? Kyle. Yeah, Bears can't cash it in. Terrible in the red zone. Chicago, they're on a 4-game losing streak. And the big thing with them, this is why they were the new monsters of the Midway. They're on their 4-game losing streak. They're -4 in turnover differential. For the year, they're +2, which seems pretty good. You're positive in the turnovers, but that gets swayed a little bit because Case Keenum turned it over 5 times. They'd be in the minus if Keenum didn't implode Monday night. When they were the monsters of the Midway, they scored a defensive touchdown 7 straight weeks. They were +12.
Club dub.
They were +12. 3rd in the NFL in turnover differential. Number 1 in takeaways with 36. It's not the same. The Bears defense, imagine if you were on the Bears defense right now. We're so good, but even if we give up 2 touchdowns, we can't trust Mr. Trubisky. Yep. I like the Lions. Give me the plus 2.5. We'll sprinkle on the money line.
Yeah. So we're all in complete agreement, and Shelby just outstatted me.
Yeah, well, get used to that.
Oh, but wait. We have a collab. We have collab.
I'm getting to that afterwards.
Oh, I thought we were going to do each one.
Okay, we'll do it now. We'll do it now. All right, so we are in collaboration with another podcast. It is the Deplorable Sports Podcast with Mike, Chris, and Eric. Those freaking guys.
Those guys.
Mike, he's the producer. Chris, he's the head of marketing. And Eric's just over there being a numbers guy. Those crazy kiddos. Okay. They also like Detroit plus 2.5. So that means Chicago's hitting. Chicago's hitting there.
Fade it right now.
If all 4 of us are on it, it's probably going to miss.
I will shut down the podcast. Actually,
can you describe the contest we're in with them?
Yeah, so They hold a little thing called Trump's Casino, where they are given $1,000 for the rest of the year. So they have given us $1,000 for the rest of the year to bet with. So this week, we might want to bet a little bit small.
A little dip of the toes in the
water.
A
little
dip of the toes. It's like it's mid-May.
Yeah, we don't want to throw all our eggs in one basket, go 0 for 3, and then be out of money.
Right. It's mid-May. The weather's just warming up, but the pool's still kind of cold because you just took the tarp off. Yeah, you took the cover off. It's not heated or anything.
I think the highest person in the Trump's Casino in their personal podcast, if I remember correctly, is around 2,200. But that's just I could be completely wrong, and they could be like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
Right.
But I like it. They're going to keep track of it. If you want to know our picks, go and listen to their latest episode. It should be out. What's tomorrow? The date? What's today? The date for Friday?
November 7th.
November 7th. So it should be
November 8th
the weekend of November 9th, 10th, or that following Monday.
Before Sunday's games.
Right.
So listen to theirs to get our official picks for the contest. Old Mike, Chris, and Eric.
Oh, Mike, those guys.
Those crazy
They have their own website.
They do.
We need to jump on board.
All right, so they like Detroit plus 2.5. We go to our second game. Giants-Jets, home game for both teams. You got a lot of things going on. You got the Black Cat curse, which has still not been found. Just got an alert on my phone. Cat is still at large.
That's big news.
What, are you serious?
That's
huge.
It
is still at large.
This game might be a 0-0 tie.
Are you serious? The cat hasn't been found?
Has not.
I got an ESPN notification about that.
Too.
It's a big deal.
But I heard that there's like 18 stray cats just living at MetLife.
What?
Yeah. So anyway, Giants are minus 2.5. I guess you can say it's an away game at the Jets. Same thing. Plus 2.5. Over/unders 44.5. Scotty, we'll start with you.
I wanted to fade talking about it. I'm going to take the Giants minus 2.5. Being it as an away home game. I don't like Sam Darnold, and I think Adam Gase is just asking to be fired at this point.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The Jets just lost to the Dolphins. Their spirit is done. It's like, you know what I mean? I don't think there's anything coming back from that. I think they look terrible against the Dolphins too. We watched it because Shelby and I had big money on it, on the Jets. Yeah. Even though it wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Would not have mattered, thank God.
Yeah. Because for that to be the one that we lost.
That would have been the one.
That would have been.
Because I kind of said it would happen.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the Giants because Daniel Jones is pretty good. They held their own against the Cowboys. The final score didn't indicate that, but it was a flawed final score with a defensive touchdown in.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that the Giants are better than what their record kind of appears to be. I think next year, if Daniel Jones makes them, the leap that Sam Darnold on the other end was supposed to take this year, the Giants can be really good next year if they, go defensively in the draft.
Nathan, give us your pick.
It's Giants, and I make fun of Scotty for not being statistical. I have no stats on this one. This one for me is just injuries are a huge issue with the Jets right now. Last week they struggled to fill their active roster for the game. Plus Le'Veon Bell is questionable for the game this week too. I'm taking Saquon and the Giants.
Solid handicap. This is all about effort to me. I like the Giants as well.
This is boring.
I know. The Giants lost by 19 against the Cowboys, but like Scotty said, that game could easily be single digits if the Giants go down and get a backdoor cover.
Yeah.
That's a game the Giants were leading by 9. Should have been up double digits if Rojas didn't Rosas?
I don't know.
Their kicker missed an extra point. It should have been 13-3. They should have been up double digits on the Cowboys. In a game where the Giants struggled in the red zone. But here's the thing. They struggled in the red zone against the Cowboys, kicking all those field goals. Led to the low total. Dallas has the number 3 red zone defense in the NFL. The Jets have the 29th ranked red zone defense. Clear lack of effort when things started to go south for the Jets last week. They got out to an early lead. Dolphins came down. Sam Darnold really, their spirits were crushed when he threw that shot put interception at the goal line.
I'm officially changing my pick.
Adam Gase, not a motivator. He's just not. There's nothing.
He sucks.
Nothing oozes off Adam Gase that makes the Jets say we can give effort.
He'll go be like the Titans QB coach next year and be forgotten.
Meanwhile, Danny Dimes, he's still in the prove it stage.
Yeah, he's
still trying to. Any win for him is a win. They're still trying. Saquon's a beast. Evan Ingram might not play, but Golden Tate has looked fantastic in that offense. They still have Sterling Shepard, I believe. I don't know if I'm guessing he's always hurt. And then for the Jets, the big thing, like Nathan said, trying to fill the active roster. They have 12 players that were limited or did not practice today. The biggest issues, besides Le'Veon Bell not playing, is in their offensive line and linebackers. Probably the two most important because the Jets can't protect Sam Darnold. They can't open up run lanes. It's all Giants.
Yeah, I'm changing my pick officially.
Yeah.
Cross it out.
Okay.
I'm taking the over 43.5.
Okay. Over 44.5.
Over 40. Well, I have it at 43. But okay, sure. I'll even take
it's just the extra point. Yeah.
I'll take it. And the reasoning is because those defensive statistics that you read. I think one of them hops out to an early lead, and the other one is
is chasing the whole
chasing
game.
the entire game.
Throws.
Exactly.
I see the Giants winning this like 28-20.
Scotty, interesting how stats swayed you there. Just
like,
I'm swayed by stats. I don't
interesting.
All right, another game. We might have different opinions on this. Rams -3.5 at Pittsburgh +3.5. Over under is 44 at Heinz Field Sunday. Who wants to start?
Shelby, I know how much. No, I know Shelby's pick. Let's start that.
Right.
Can I start that?
We're gonna give away my pick.
I don't know it because I don't know it, but I know it because I know you.
I have a solid handicap on this. You actually do know this pick.
No,
I told you this pick.
No, but I didn't look at the picks.
The problem is I went over my nice statistics for this game with Shelby beforehand, and now he's just going to thieve from me.
Here's my pick. I'm not going to feed from you because I don't have the
You're
same
the
pick.
biggest. You're the dude who hates to love Pittsburgh. Every week, you find a reason to love Pittsburgh.
If I leaned one way, I would take Pittsburgh
Every time.
Because Mike Tomlin, the rare times that he's a home dog, he covers 66% of the time. But that's where I'm not going because I like the under. 44. Here's what I like. This is a long handicap, so buckle your seatbelt.
So I didn't know your pick because I thought you had Pittsburgh +3.
No, I would lean Pittsburgh if I had to take a side, but I'm taking the total under 44. Pittsburgh, number 10 versus the pass, 228 yards per game. How about at home? Pittsburgh ranks third in defending the pass at Heinz Field, 174.8 yards a game. What do the Rams like to do? Pass. Jared Goff has thrown the third most passes in the NFL. Todd Gurley still bumming that knee or whatever he's at. He's averaging less than 12 carries per game, and he's averaging less than 4 yards per carry. Swinging around, the Rams are 10th versus the run. Pittsburgh, great offensive line, but James Conner's out. Jalen Samuels, he was a tight end at NC State. Now he's their starting running back because James Conner's hurt. He's had only one game in his career where he's had over 55 rushing yards. Don't like them running the ball very well. Rams are 19th against the pass, but they've only had one game with the new addition. That's Jalen Ramsey, one of the best corners in the NFL, probably say the best corner in the NFL. They also get Clay Matthews back. That helps with those short passes to Jalen Samuels out of the backfield. Next generation stats, Mason Rudolph is 8th in the NFL in time to throw. 2.82 seconds, he gets the ball out quick. Average completed air yards. That means on Mason Rudolph's completions, they're only averaging 4 yards through the air. Short passes, that's second fewest behind Josh Rosen. So short passes. Mason Rudolph doesn't like to stretch the field. Rams defense gets Clay Matthews back. It's their second week with Jalen Ramsey. The Rams are rested coming off a bye, like Wade Phillips' defense against a young quarterback. And I don't like Jared Goff's ability to throw against the Steelers' defense. That's been great, winning 3 straight since trading for Minkah Fitzpatrick.
I even disagree with you on the under. I like the over just because, like you mentioned, the short passes. I'm not picking the over. I actually have Rams -3.5. That's my pick. I think the Rams. I think the Rams win by more than 3 because of the addition of Jalen Ramsey and shutting down Juju Smith-Schuster. But here's the thing: Mason Rudolph is a dump-off passer, but they're still scoring upwards of in the mid-20s every game. And even against the Dolphins, what's this third straight game at home for the Steelers?
Yeah.
And so, they've scored mid-20s in the first 2. I thought the under the last game was good because it was like a good Colts defense. But with Brian Hoyer, a backup QB, 50 points were scored in that game. So
how many turnovers, though? How many drives started? How many short drives were there in that game?
Well,
there was a pick six.
The pick six, but the Colts were driving in to go for a touchdown. And there's also field goals when they should have been touchdowns.
So the turnovers in that game skewed the total. That's where I'm at. You have a pick six goes the other way. That's at least a 4-point swing if the Colts only get a field goal there. You can't assume they score a touchdown on that.
You can't assume it didn't happen though. And I think that it's at the same. The Colts gave up a pick six with a backup QB, whereas Jared Goff might actually drive his team down and score rather. And it's the same point total. So I think that even if I think the Steelers will play catch up all game and the Rams win somewhere upwards of 35 to.
There's no way the Rams score in the 30s against the Steelers defense.
Okay, 28-20.
Yeah, these totals, you have a good read on them, but it's like the Bills-Dolphins total. you thought under, and then you have an onside kick that goes for touchdown, or defensive touchdowns, or special teams plays.
Well, that's just a bad beat.
Yeah, exactly. But that's what can skew these things. But just from my handicap and from for the stats I read, is that I like the under.
Yeah.
From what I said about Mason Rudolph, I think this is a punt fest. I think, weather's cold there in Pittsburgh. Jared Goff might struggle. I'm not sold on the Rams offense. They looked great against a bad Bengals defense, and Jared Goff threw about 7 balls that could have been picked off. Steelers defense, I don't know. Adding Minkah Fitzpatrick bolsters that secondary. Nathan, what's your pick?
I'm taking the Rams minus 3.5 here. So bear with me for a few stats as well, Shelby. I loved everything that you gave there, but I have some others. Sean McVay, 10-0 against AFC opponents, other than his Super Bowl loss to New England Patriots. So regular season, he's undefeated against AFC opponents.
Yeah, I don't like that stat.
And he's beating the AFC opponents by an average of 2 touchdowns a game.
Yeah,
they're not even close games.
I don't like that stat.
Me neither.
Really?
Yeah, it's like, what does him beating Marcus Mariota in 2017 have to do with Heinz
He beat
Field
Denver.
in
He beat
2019?
Denver, and Denver only 20-16 or something.
Yeah, in
20-17.
what looked like a snow game.
It was going to be like a snowstorm
Yeah.
that didn't look anything like
I
that.
don't
That's
know.
fair. It's stats like that give me comfort. And the Rams have won and covered in all 6 of their Eastern time zone games under Sean McVay as well, including the beatdown of the Falcons earlier this year when they did
Those
explode
stats
for
are too
37
daunting for me
points.
to bet. 6-0 against
See-
on East Coast. It's like, dude, of course, this is a perfect time for them to go 6-1. Those are
But
too
you
daunting.
also have the Rams coming off a bye, and teams since
Yeah, I do like
2011
that.
have a 60% cover rate, being the road favorites coming off a bye. 60% of the
That's a good
time they
handicap.
cover that.
That's a good hand.
I love that. I love them coming off a bye here in
I
this game.
like that too.
My problem with historical stats, like with the AFC thing, is like what I said about, when they said there's a stat out there about this game that says the Rams have covered or the Steelers have covered their last 4 times against the Rams. And it's like, well, they only play each other once every 4 years. So what's it have to do with in 2007, the Steelers beating Sean Hill in the Rams?
Yeah.
That's some of those can be skewered, but
Certainly. It's just another perspective on some stats. Again, these are what gave me comfort in looking and
Right.
trying to choose a winner in this.
Right.
But I think the biggest one is the 60% cover rate on road favorites coming off a bye.
Right.
I love that stat. So I'm here for it.
Clay Matthews coming back.
Yep. I'm here for that. So Rams minus 3.5.
Okay. That'll take us to our Sunday night game. I have
Sunday night.
Sunday night. Minnesota +3 at Jerry World. Dallas +3.
That was
Over
awesome.
under is 48. I have a double like in this game. The side is my bet for the game, and then the total is my lock. So
Wow.
whoever wants to start, because
Under.
I'll probably take a while. So under 48 for Scott.
Under.
Why under 48?
Because Dallas, this is the media is craving the narrative that Dallas is a fraud.
Yeah.
Dallas just beat again. Dallas has loses to the Jets. They're like, oh my god, everyone's freaking out. Then who'd they beat before the Giants? Like the week
Eagles.
They beat,
37-13.
and then they beat
The Giants.
no. Did they have a bye in between that?
Mm-mm.
It was not Eagles was not last week.
No, it was Giants were last week on Monday
Yeah.
night. The Eagles were the week prior, and then the Jets were the week prior to that.
No, it wasn't.
Yes,
You're
it
wrong.
was.
No.
It was Jets. They lost. Then they played the Eagles.
Yep.
Killed them. Then they played the Giants on Monday night.
Okay. Yeah, but I just I think Kirk Cousins goes in. I think Kirk Cousins goes in and plays well, but I think the under is going to hit, and I think the Vikings win. I think there's not a lot of points scored in this game. I think both defenses are solid. I don't think Dak Prescott plays a good game because he's only good against bad teams. I don't have any stats because I'm not the stats guy.
Okay.
I'm the feeler.
Scotty,
the market.
I am going to disagree with you completely. Give me the over in this
Oh
game.
my.
That's terrible.
Give me the over, and here's why. Dallas is averaging 31 points per game.
Yeah,
and
I love. Give me your argument because I'm better at going against stats.
Yeah, I will feed you.
Yeah,
Okay.
Dallas is averaging 31 points per game at home this season. They're 4 games at AT&T Stadium.
Who they play?
Mm.
Who they play? Nate?
An interesting question there.
I want you to tell because they played the Giants. They played the Giants. They played the Eagles. Who else?
They played Dolphins in Miami.
Dolphins was at home.
Was it at home?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then I think they played They played the Packers at home.
Gotcha.
And lost.
Okay. We're talking about two of the top offenses in the NFL in several categories. Dallas leads in yards per play and per game, and they're fifth in points scored per game. At 28
what's their defensive rankings?
Lower than that. That's not what they're hanging their hat on this year at all. It has to be with the offense, with Zeke and Dak Prescott.
Okay.
So, and the Vikings, you have them in fourth in yards per play and eighth in per game, and they're just outside the top 10 in scoring. So I absolutely love the over in this game. Dallas at home puts up points, and they're 11-2 in their last 13 home games. Minnesota's just 5-13 in their last road games.
What's that have to do with the total?
The Vikings defense, and here's Vikings defense has surrendered 66 points in their last 2 road games. They're giving up a ton on the road. Give me the over in this. I like Dallas in this too. I'd take Dallas and the over, but I'll just take the over in this one.
All right. The under is my lock of the week because I can't for the life of me figure out why this total is almost 50. You have the 2 of the top 5 scoring defenses in the league. Minnesota's number 4, Dallas is number 5. They are both ranked top 7 in terms of yards allowed. Dallas number 6, Minnesota number 7. Keep going. Both are top 10 against the pass. Dallas number 7, Minnesota number 8. They're both top 10 against the run. Minnesota number 9, Dallas number 10. What do we know about Kirk Cousins, guys?
Does not play well in prime time.
Yeah, exactly. He is 1 o'clock games or earlier.
Or Thursday night game.
1 o'clock games or earlier, he's 33-20-2. 4 p.m. or after, he's 9-23.
Wow.
That's why Dallas -3 is my side pick, but the under plays into how Kirk Cousins has been bad in primetime.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins has been bad in primetime. Last primetime game, they got a win against the Redskins. What'd they do? They scored 1 offensive touchdown.
Yeah.
His last 4 o'clock game was against Chicago. They were shut out until there was 2 minutes left in the game. They scored a garbage time touchdown. Cousins was sacked 6 times. There was a mutiny on the hands of the Vikings, and they got right when they came home and played Philadelphia. 2 games at 4 o'clock or later this year, the offense has scored 2 touchdowns. 1 against Chicago in garbage time, and like I said, against the Redskins, that 19-9 game. Prescott, 14-5 primetime record. Cousins 6-14. Cousins 6-29 versus winning teams. Aside from the defenses, both ranking in the top 10 in every major statistical category, this under feeds into Kirk Cousins' ineptitude to play on the big stage. On top of that, you have Adam Thielen, who didn't practice yesterday, didn't practice today with a hamstring, likely going to be out for a second straight week because he only played like 4 or 5 snaps week 1. Amari Cooper, knee injury, MRI, limited in practice yesterday, didn't practice today. He's questionable for Sunday's game. You take 2 of the top receivers out of the game.
Keep it on the ground with the 2 leading rushers.
You have a Dalvin Cook versus Zeke Elliott, but like I said, those are 2 great running backs, 2 elite running backs facing 2 of the top defensive teams against the run. Even if they do ground and pound both times, what's that do to the clock? Keep it running, keep it running.
A lot of punts.
Give me the under. Pick is Dallas -3. Under 48 is my lock.
Love it. Good defensive stats.
Wow, that was some deep stats right there.
I mean,
I almost looked him up, and Shelby told me not to because he had it already.
He was ready to go with those.
Well, it was one of those where it jumps out at you like.
Well, we talked about it earlier. I couldn't believe it was almost a 50 either.
Yeah, it's like I couldn't. I really don't. I think Dallas wins it somewhere in the neighborhood of like 21-17. I wouldn't be surprised if both these teams score under 20.
I like the opposite, but
it was like look at Minnesota. I don't know, Minnesota, Dallas. Kirk Cousins. It feeds. If Kirk Cousins had any sort of success, any degree of regular success in primetime games where he puts up numbers, this game's different because I could see where maybe, and the big thing that puts it over the top is that Thielen and Amari Cooper. Thielen probably not going to play. Cooper might play, but isn't going to be 100%.
Yeah.
Just give me.
So the Scotty feel for this game, I like Minnesota +3 as a side thing, not as a bonus or anything, but I like the over 2.
Okay.
That's my pick. I don't know if you
like the over?
I do like the over. That was my pick, but I'm saying why I like +3.
So you're taking Nathan's side on the over, 48.
Oh, sorry, the under.
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were. No, my bad.
Which one's your official pick?
Under. The under 48.
Under 48.
The reason I like you, but you said as a side, I'm just kind of countering it. You said you like Dallas -3.
Yes.
I like the Vikings because the feel for it is like you can see Kirk Cousins and Dallas's defense, or you can see Dallas's defense getting exposed a little bit by Kirk Cousins. If they play their cards right, play their offense right. I just can't see Minnesota's defense being exposed to Dak Prescott.
Mm-mm.
Maybe Ezekiel Elliott a little bit on the ground, but like you said, top 5 run defense. I just can't see Dak Prescott putting up numbers against that defense.
And you look at teams. What I even like more is getting in on a defense after a bad week. Minnesota's defense had a bad week against the Chiefs and Matt Moore.
Yeah,
and that does happen with Andy Reid's system, where if you give that guy time, Matt Moore's looked great in his 2 starts coming out of that mini bye they had after the Thursday night win against Denver.
Is he still out this week?
Mahomes?
Yeah,
I think he's back.
Okay.
Yeah, he's back. Failed to mention on the other 3, the Deplorable Sports Podcast.
Our boys.
They are also in agreement with the Giants.
They've got the Giants -2.5.
Rams -3.5.
Rams -3.5. Love it.
And they are on Kirk Cousins +3.
Let's go.
Kirk Cousins +3.
Wow.
Vikings +3. All right, time for our bonus picks. Nathan, you start.
You want me to start on bonus? All right.
If you're not too hurt from getting bodied in that last one.
That's that's a rough one right there. Again, I still like the over. I'm going to stick with it. We're going to see what happens.
You want to bet a Popeyes chicken sandwich on it?
I would absolutely love to bet a Popeyes chicken sandwich.
Is this
on
the
that.
first bet you've ever made? Because I have a bone to pick with you. Something's in the water.
Nathan's our gambling special
Fraud.
guest. Didn't bet at all last week.
No. Do you ever bet, Nathan?
I do bet. I do bet. I did not bet.
How do you
last
like
week.
our picks 2 weeks ago?
I will absolutely own what I did in not betting this past week.
He had a busy weekend.
I had a busy weekend coming off a week of travel. I will absolutely own my lack of betting in this last week.
Hey, he owned it.
Nathan, do you listen to the pod?
I do listen to the pod.
Because we mentioned you.
And I do know that you mentioned me. I did not listen to that episode, though. I was not able to. I was on the road traveling again.
Okay.
The disappointing side effect of my job.
But Nathan, we were also on agreement that we were all going to take Miami +17 against Buffalo that week.
Yeah, I didn't take
All three of
them.
us sent our picks. Tough. That's all I'm saying.
Tough.
Is tough.
I know. I
As
didn't
for the
take them.
gambling
I didn't
guy,
get to them.
it's tough.
I know.
Okay,
I know. I feel.
So this week we all have to take Detroit +2.5 and send in our tickets.
I will absolutely do that. I gotta prove myself after not betting last week. I have to prove myself with this pick this week.
Nathan, I need some proof.
Prove
Yep.
it with your bonus pick, which is
My bonus pick this week. Let's talk about Dolphins at Colts.
ooh.
Wow.
This is good. We haven't touched on this game,
The-
and
the-
I'm afraid of it.
This line has slipped a lot. This opened at Colts -14.5. It's down to Colts -10.
I hate how much I like the Dolphins.
The Dolphins have covered in 4 straight games.
Yeah.
Give me the Dolphins +10 in this game. They're covering this.
Yeah, and this is one of the ones you might bet. When you find out exactly who's playing Brissett or Brian Hoyer. Obviously, if it's Hoyer,
Brian Hoyer's a king.
Cleveland legend. Build the statue. But yeah, if it's Hoyer, it's probably an automatic play with Miami. I'd almost like buying a half point to make it 10.5 just in case. But yeah, I mean, the Colts. That's like the hungry
Yep.
dog type thing. Is the Colts just had that excruciating loss to Pittsburgh?
Yeah,
They
dude,
could've
the
won.
Dolphins, here's the thing. The Dolphins were so close to a win until they finally achieved it. Here's where they go back to being dumpster.
Yeah,
You know, that's that.
because
Here's where they're
their
trash.
plan was to tank, but the thing is, the Dolphins are not playing like a tanking
No,
team.
not at all.
Remember they had Josh Rosen at quarterback, and they should have been winning against the Cowboys at halftime.
I think it's in Indy too. I think Ryan Fitzpatrick those 4 picks.
And that's a
That's
good
my
point.
prop bet of the week.
That's a good
It's
point. That's a
possible.
good point because you're due for that game with Fitzpatrick.
Yes,
As
correct.
much as the Fitzmagic,
Yep.
the Fitzmagic hits every now and then, and they miraculously covered against the Bills
Yep.
when Fitzpatrick had that long run.
No, they
But
didn't.
they covered against the Bills
What was it? What was the spread?
+17.
Oh, it
They've
was
covered
17.
4 straight weeks.
They were only down 3 when that onside kick happened.
Yep,
They lost by 10.
Dolphins covered 4 straight.
Yeah, I think they're full effort. They saw that Monday night game. They're up 13-0. Covered that +14. It's a tough game to me just because I think Fitzpatrick is due for that game. But Nathan, I like that pick.
Right.
That's a solid handicap too. Four straight. You ride the hot hand.
Yeah.
You're
You're spot on. They're not playing like a tanking team. So
right.
I like
Exactly.
them.
And you'd love to get in the head of upper management that traded away Minka Fitzpatrick and traded away Kenyon Drake and traded away Kenny Stills.
Yep.
and they were been linked. But people I've listened to around the media said that they've been linked to Tua since last year's draft.
Yeah.
So they really want Tua from what I've heard, And now it's like
now Bengals can spur them.
Well, now the Dolphins are picking fourth.
Yeah,
they're picking fourth.
That's insane at 1-7.
Yeah. Okay, Scotty, your bonus.
Bengals plus 10.
Okay, you're on Zach.
Yeah, I am. I like that bonus. Rookie QBs have been playing well all year.
Mm-hmm.
All year. I think Ryan Finley is just the latest example. I don't think they'll win, but I think Bengals will play respectable enough. Like, it sucks that Finley doesn't get, a top 10 wide receiver in his first start,
right?
Who was supposed to be back,
right?
Who now is out indefinitely for hopefully just a week for Zach's purposes.
Indefinitely is never only meant a week.
But I think that was –
okay.
I think indefinitely was a little bit of a dramatic way for Adam Schefter to tweet. Yeah. But because A.J. Green said he's not shutting it down for the year. So it's not really his choice, I guess. But I think Bengals plus 10. It's at home. They play the Ravens well the last time around. It was close. There was turnovers. I think they always kind of play the Ravens a little bit tight. I think the plus 10 pick is a good pick. So.
Yeah, this is one of those games I'd have to stay away from just because – from the score of the last game, the Bengals lost by 6. Covered that spread with a backdoor cover, Dalton touchdown run to make it 23-17. But you look at that game, the Ravens dominated every statistical category. The Bengals completed a 4th and 17 on a roughing the passer.
They scored to cover, like if it were plus 10, they scored with like 6 seconds left last time.
Yeah, they lost by 6. The spread was 13.
Yeah.
The spread was 10, I think. But yeah, it was everything pointed to the Ravens should have covered that and won by 20 or so. But Mark Andrews had a fumble.
There's also a kickoff return to start the game.
Kickoff return started the game. That's huge. If you take that away, the Bengals don't drive down and get points. But the Bengals offense scored 1 touchdown. But now a rookie quarterback.
You take away the first 10 seconds of the game and the last 10 seconds of the game, the Bengals score 3 points.
Yeah, the Ravens win 23-3.
Yeah,
and that's why it's tough, and you don't know how. There's Ravens players that are watching YouTube highlights of Ryan Finley to get a jump on.
That's hilarious.
And that's where you go. Like rookie quarterback, he's going to make mistakes, but the lack of film you have on him, you don't know his weaknesses, you don't know his strengths. And
a la Brandon Allen. Last week I tried to watch Arkansas highlights and I couldn't even find them. Yeah. So I don't know how teams watched anything about him besides preseason.
But my problem is it's where I would lean Ravens is that the running game just hasn't been there for the Bengals all year, and that's a rookie quarterback's best friend is a running game and a tight end. And tight end position's been shaky. The Bengals' second-round pick, Drew Sample, is on special teams. Tyler Eifert.
He's not getting any offensive snaps.
Yeah, he is, but he's mostly on special teams.
That's trash.
He's third on the depth chart behind C.J. Uzomah and Tyler Eifert.
And they still play?
Yeah.
I feel like I'd never hear their names.
Yeah. So, the tight ends don't catch a lot of passes.
Not anymore.
Eifert actually did against the Rams. It was like his best game of the season.
Probably because he wanted to get traded.
He was targeted a lot.
How did Finley play in the preseason?
He played great.
Really?
Yeah, he played great.
He looked very solid in the preseason.
So did the third quarterback that my dad
the rocket arm guy.
Thing,
It does the
While we're on this game, guys, this is my lock of the week. And my lock of the week is Baltimore minus 10.5. I'm taking the other side of this. QBs who make their professional debuts by starting a game in weeks 10 through 16 are just 1-8 this century.
You were being way too specific.
1-8 what?
1-8.
1-8 what? Against the spread or straight up?
Straight up.
That doesn't mean anything. It's a 10-point spread. I could lose by 9. You lose.
I understand that, but I don't like them. Their teams in those situations average just 10 points per game. I think if the Bengals put up 10 points, the Ravens easily score 28 at least. I think they blow them out. So they're 1-8. They never win the games and they never score any points. I love Baltimore in this particular game.
That's a solid handicap because if they're 1-8 straight up and they're scoring that little points, it hinges on how good their defense is. So if they're 1-8 overall, they're probably 2-7, 3-6 against the spread. So the numbers favor you.
Correct.
Zach,
absolutely.
Not Zach. Nathan's going to come onto the boardwalk next week and be like, guys, quarterbacks who start between week 12 and week 16 who eat Taco Bell before the game, and the Ravens always eat Taco Bell before the game and also get a Baja Blast, always don't cover.
First of all,
that's what I'm like.
If you're at Taco Bell, you have to get a Baja Blast.
I'm looking for stats to try to follow some trends because that's what gambling is trying to follow some kind of trend.
That's a fantastic handicap by Nathan. You have a desperate team, you have a winless team.
Yeah, but look at the more recent stats of the rookie QBs this year. It's the trend has gone up because of like you said, there's no film, and also there's a lot more in different aspects to prepare for.
So you have some outliers in week 9. Just last week it was Brandon Allen, and then last year it was Nick Mullins for San Francisco. Week 9, they won their starts, but I just don't like rookie quarterbacks, especially against a good team like the Ravens that coming off a big win.
A big win. You have the letdown factor. There's a lot of factors in this, but I think it leans more. That's why I said Ravens, because it leans more Ravens. You have Marcus Peters joining the defense. It's looked great, holding Seattle to 16 points and then beating New England. And then with the Bengals, obviously the offense, scoring-wise, it's not there. No run game for a rookie quarterback making his first start. It spells problems. But if the Bengals went down and scored and led, 7-3 or 7-0 early in the first quarter, it wouldn't surprise me. And once Finley, like those first 15 plays that are scripted is when quarterbacks, this was Sam Darnold looked so good against the Dolphins. Went down and scored a touchdown. Those first 15 plays are scripted. I like Nathan's pick. I'd lean Baltimore, but it's too big for me to, make it a lock or anything.
That is my lock.
Yeah, that's my bonus. My lock is, boys, I'm back on the train because Mahomes is back. I'm back on the how could you possibly give the Chiefs a single-digit spread. Chiefs -6 against the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. Mahomes comes back firing on all cylinders.
Honest question, how healthy is he? How healthy is he coming back?
I feel like there'd be
He'll
some
be fine.
if
they're not going to rush him back when they have Super Bowl aspirations if he's not fully healthy.
That's one thing, Scotty, is that the Chiefs' defense has looked better in the last couple weeks.
Yeah.
Against the Packers, Aaron Rodgers had a fantastic game, and against the Vikings, they shut down Dalvin Cook. But I think they'll be on the field a little more because with Matt Moore, you don't have that stretch factor that Mahomes has where they score, quicker.
Yeah.
But I would lean Chiefs because, I think the Titans, they have something to play for. They're still in the wild card mix, even though they're in last place in the AFC South.
No, it's my lock. I would put big money. I would put everything. I would put down a second mortgage on the Chiefs -6.
You'd have to have a first mortgage first.
That's correct.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my lock. Chiefs -6. Gotta do it.
It's tough for me because you don't know if there's going to be any rust from Mahomes to shake off. I think everyone's just like, oh, he's back. He's going to be the Mahomes of old. But
I don't think
he
so.
wasn't the Mahomes of old when he was healthy, or before he dislocated his kneecap in Denver. But I think I would lean Kansas City.
I think he's had plenty of time to. He had an ankle, and the thing was his knee. He had time for both injuries.
Against the Packers, he said if it was a playoff game, he would have.
Yeah.
So,
And the line's low enough, even if he is rusty, I think they cover that because it's 6. So I'm fine with it.
Yeah, Chiefs defense looks a little better, and Ryan Tannehill, you lean the
Can't get it up for him.
Can't get it. My bonus, first of all, we'll go to our friends over at the Deplorable Sports Podcast.
.com. Check them out.
.com. Their lock, Ravens -10. They're on Nathan's train. And then their bonus, our first college bet,
on the boardwalk.
LSU money line against Alabama in Tuscaloosa.
What do you think?
Those crazy kids.
What if
Tua doesn't play?
Yeah,
that
should be a lock.
That should be a lock then. But
I heard
it's 1 versus 2, and there's 1 versus 2 stats out there.
Last time LSU played a really good team with a really good offense was a national championship.
Yeah.
So they're young guys.
Yeah, but there's something about Alabama just scares you.
Yeah,
it's
scares
like
me to death.
I was on Bama last year against Clemson. Clemson blew them out of the water.
Yeah, it was too. Yeah,
but LSU struggled against Auburn, a team they're 7.5 point favorites. But
I love rooting for LSU. So
Absolutely.
I like the pick. I love Joe Burrow. I like the pick.
Look at Shelby out here talking about college football right now. It's not his favorite thing in the world, but he's out here. He's dropping some knowledge about the Auburn LSU game. I like it, Shelby.
Thank you.
Since I started betting, college is so much more fun to watch.
College is great
it's amazing,
fun. It's great fun to watch.
Like the Maction coming back this week.
Oh, Maction.
All right, lastly, I'm going to get to my bonus.
Yeah.
It's Browns -2.5 against Buffalo.
Wow.
Here.
Okay. Yeah, I know the Browns are a go against all year with all the hype, but you look at the Bills' defense. First of all, the Bills 6-2. Probably the most overrated 6-2 team. If a 6-2 team goes on the road to a 2-6 team, they should be more than a field goal favorite. That's what you should see. But because the Bills' 6 wins against opponents with a combined record of 9-42, there are 2 teams that they played with winning records: New England, Philly, lost to both of them at home. And then you look at the Bills' run defense. Think of that Bills' defense. You think low-scoring games all around. You think tight defense, cold temperatures up in Buffalo. But run defense has been sloppy at best this year. Last week, Adrian Peterson, 18 carries for 108. The week before that, Jordan Howard and Miles Sanders combined for 170 yards. Even the Dolphins running backs, 23 carries for 99 yards. Tennessee running backs, 22 for 90. Saquon Barkley, 18 for 107 and a touchdown. If the one thing that's worked for the Browns this year, that's Nick Chubb. He's 4th in the NFL, 2nd in the AFC in rushing yards. Add Kareem Hunt. You think he's probably had some rust first week with a new team, but he's been practicing with them since October 21st. So he's had time to learn that system, almost 3 weeks now. Give me the Browns -2.5. Come home. It's their first
Get-right game.
Yeah, it has to be a get-right game. It's their season on the line, even though I think it's already over. But it's only their second home game since week 3. Those Browns fans have been showing up there the last 20 years, and they've been awful since they came back to Cleveland. They're going to be out in spades for this game. Last time they were at home, they probably should have beat Seattle if they didn't implode with Baker. I think you take the ball out of Baker's hands, hand the ball to Nick Chubb, win the game.
If Baker has to win it, they won't win.
They won't win it. If it comes down to a last-minute drive, Baker doesn't have the clutch gene.
I mean, against Denver, I didn't even recognize because it was my own team. Couldn't come down and get the touchdown you needed when you needed it.
No, absolutely.
Baker is the most non-clutch quarterback I've ever watched play.
But I think at the same time, if they just hand the ball to Chubb, this is going to be a game. It's going to be tight. It's going to come down to really, who runs the ball best. I think that belongs to Nick Chubb. I think the Browns win around 20-17. You look at Josh Allen, not good. He's just not.
How dare you?
He makes too many boneheaded mistakes that he should have got rid of his rookie year. But somehow he's on this.
He's like a taller Jay Cutler.
Yeah, no, Jay Cutler was good. Josh Allen's
Jay Cutler had his moments.
So does Josh Allen.
Josh Allen has his moments throwing for 160 yards a game and a couple short touchdowns and a quarterback sweep for one. Sean McDermott, credit to him, he's a great coach. He's been in the playoffs 2 out of the last 3 years if they make it this year. And after last year, they were supposed to be the worst team in the NFL. They had guys retiring the second week, Vontae Davis. But with the Bills, look at their home favorites against the Eagles, against an Eagles team that was terrible, that just got blown out by Minnesota. They lose by 20-something at home. I think if they make Josh Allen throw the ball, the Browns still have a pass rush, has 25 sacks on the year led by Myles Garrett, obviously. They're going to make Josh Allen run around, and that's where he makes his mistakes, his boneheaded cross-the-field passes when he should be throwing it away. Josh Allen's due for a couple of mistakes. Like the Browns -2.5, I'm ready to get hurt again.
Ready to get hurt again, and Zach hit us with a DM that said, Jesus Christ, I'm going to kill myself if we don't move on. So I think it's time for the boardwalk to conclude.
Nathan, thank you.
Yes, thanks, gentlemen. Good luck this week.
Thanks, Nathan. Thank you to the Deplorable Sports Podcast for sponsoring this episode and being this segment and being a part of it.
Being on board
of the walk, walking the board.
Walking the board with us. Strolling the boardwalk with us. And remember to listen to their episode coming out around this Saturday, this weekend, to see our picks for the contest.
On the Trump Casino.
Give us a free $1,000. See how fast we lose it. Okay. All right. It's time for NFL Picks Snake Draft. Scotty.
Zack.
The loser of this snake draft has to give himself a... And I'm motivated.
Season's half over.
I can't... Oh, don't say that.
Well, I don't give myself a swirly, dude.
Well, I can't get water in my ears, so I can't lose.
Shelby, you are literally... What are you going to do? Are you still going to do it, though?
I'd have to do it, yeah. I would have to have ear surgery.
Are we filming it?
They make earplugs. It's okay.
What's that, Zach?
They make earplugs. Yeah. We'll make it work if it comes to that.
That's fair. So, Scotty, 1-3 last week.
We're going to film it?
Yeah.
That will probably motivate me to be really good because if I'm filmed doing this, one time I convinced a dude in high school to give himself a swirly for money.
Oh my gosh, the game started.
Or no, not for money, for a challenge. Anyway.
All right.
Philip Rivers almost threw a pick. Classic Rivers.
Scotty, you were 1-3 last week. I was 2-2. Zach was
1-3?
Yeah.
Oh,
Zach, you missed your first 3 and got the fourth one, Kansas City over Minnesota. Zach was 3-1.
Ooh.
So now Zach is 3 games behind me for first place. And Scotty is in last place, 2 games behind Zach. And now you get the first pick, Scotty.
Oh, I do I?
You do.
Oh.
Don't miss on the first pick like you did last week.
I'm taking New Orleans over Atlanta.
Love it. Love it. Zach, you're picking third, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm taking Baltimore over the Bengals.
Dang it.
Hate that pick.
Ryan Finley season, tough. Zach, you have back-to-back picks.
Tough for the Ravens.
Remember to explain your pick a little bit. Give a little blurb.
All right, I'm going to go Chiefs over Titans. Patrick Mahomes is back. I hope.
-6.
For the sake of me winning this pick and also for the sake of my fantasy team, Patrick Mahomes is back. And then I'm going to take Colts over the Dolphins.
Okay, that's good 2 picks. Why Colts over Dolphins?
Because the Dolphins are bad, and
Okay.
Jacoby Brissett, is he going to be back? Do we have conclusive?
It's up in the air.
A little bit of this, little column A, little column B.
Yeah. Oh, well, I think the running game is good enough against to beat the 1-7 Dolphins.
All right, so my top 3 picks are out of the way. So these a lot of these coming up are a lot of
pick'ems. I can't wait to lose.
A lot of pick'ems. So I'm going to go with Packers bouncing back. They have to bounce back against Carolina.
Do they? 7-3 is not that bad of a record.
I know, but that's a you're off a team because of a bad loss. Now you're on them. I'm on them.
You're on them.
I'm on them. Packers over Panthers. Kyle Allen. It snowed like crazy in Green Bay yesterday.
Oh, snow game.
Snow game, but it's not going to snow Sunday. It felt like winter. I wanted a bowl of chili.
Using that same logic, Shelby.
Mm-hmm.
Coming off a bad L.
Mm-hmm.
Give me Minnesota and Dallas.
Minnesota over Dallas?
Yep.
Wow. Taking the underdog. Like it.
I mean, Minnesota has one less win than Green Bay, and Dallas has the same record as Carolina.
They need the win.
Carolina.
They need the win.
I would say that's an even.
That's a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Yeah.
The line says it's a pick 'em.
Right.
Home field advantage. All right. What's your back-to-back?
My back-to-back. Man, dude, this is so tough. I'm just gonna have to ride the bad play of the Jets and take the Giants.
Dang it! Good pick. Yeah, we explained this. That's a good pick. Jets bad.
Yeah.
It's my lock, so I got to go with it. Cleveland over Buffalo.
Yeah, it is your lock.
So you got to ride your lock sometimes.
Yep.
Zackaroo, you get 2.
All right. I'm gonna have to go with Niners over Seahawks because their defense is sus.
Seattle's is sus.
Yep, that's that Monday night game. And then I'm gonna have to go with go with the opposite of you, Shelby. I'm gonna go Bills over Browns.
Hey, you got to do it.
That was smart, Zach.
You love to see it. Help me gain some ground on Shelby here.
I do love to see it. Yeah.
You picked Cleveland in your thingy.
No, I love to see him going against you, though.
Oh, okay. All right, I'm up.
Pick Detroit. You know you want to.
I want to. That's my next seeded game. I'm going to go against Scotty and take Dallas over Minnesota. Kirk Cousins, terrible in primetime. Dallas straight up.
And Shelby, I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go against you and take Carolina over Green Bay.
Oh. You're on the moneyline underdog train.
I am. And I just won money off a prop bet, Phillip Rivers to throw an interception. Boom, baby. First drive. That's all it took.
Mr. Overthrow. Okay. Snake draft out of the way.
I love my picks.
We've done Boardwalk. Now we go.
Zach just DM'd like he couldn't say it on the podcast. So Scotty really wants that swirly. I don't think that's fair. Zach, what would you have picked instead of Carolina over Green Bay at the end there?
Rams over Steelers, probably.
You like Rams?
Yeah, Rams.
Oh, yeah.
Do you like Rams or
Can I change it?
Detroit over Chicago? No, you can't change it. You could have went Detroit over Chicago. No one's talking about Tampa Bay. We haven't touched Tampa
I don't
Bay
like that game. I think either could. That's a pick on me.
No, I'm just saying that that game's going to have $1 trillion points.
Yeah.
$1 trillion points.
It could go.
41-38 bucks. That bet's screwed. 7 yards. Kidding me? Done. Doug Martin going off. All right. So now we're going to Monday morning headlines.
Oh, I can't wait to show you guys the ones I don't have.
Yeah. Okay. I'll start. Dallas Morning News says, turn off the lights. Cousins struggles in prime time again as Cowboys control the Vikings 27-17.
Zach.
What's up?
Well, Monday morning headlines, Zach?
No, I thought we were just. You didn't send me a comprehensive list before we recorded this. So I thought we were going.
They only stay the same every week.
Thought we were going straight into rational reactions.
No, we're going Monday morning headlines.
Okay, well, I don't have any, and they're always bad anyways. I don't know why you would want one from me.
All right, the Baltimore Sun says Green out leaves Ravens seeing red. Ravens harass first-time starter with 5 sacks and 24-7 win in Cincinnati.
Oh.
Yeah.
The New York Post says Black Cat back. Game ends 0-0 tie.
Mine was New York Post Black Magic.
Oh, that's better.
No curse at MetLife as Giants topple hapless Jets 27-14.
Well, curse for the Jets there. You know?
I mean, someone's going to win, right?
It's my headline. Oh, Jacobs off the henny.
Oh, man, he's going off.
Oh, man. Josh Jacobs. Oh.
You hate to see it. All right. We want to go to irrational reactions now?
Are we on that?
We on that.
Please.
It's a treat for all you people who missed out on Monday's show. That's our favorite segment. And now we're going to bring it to you, and Zach's going to start.
Let's do it.
All right.
Who wants to count me in?
I will. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
This is going to be rough. Washington placed left tackle Williams on NFI, ending his season. If that's not a nail in the coffin on their season, I don't know what is. Midseason All-Pro team Patriots Saints aplenty. I think that might be the first time I've ever heard somebody use aplenty in a non-ironic setting. Antonio Brown set to meet with league next week. This seems a little excessive for something as trivial as a helmet. Saints DC Allen wants second shot as head coach. You probably stock on Allen's are up. So good luck.
Well done.
Lamar expected to play versus Bengals despite illness. You better, because I swear to God, if RG3 plays, I will burn the city to the ground. Browns Inc. center Shredder to 3-year extension. They found the missing piece. Adams Jets make amends after deadline drama. Too little, too late. Jackson surges to number 2 in Week 10 QB rankings. It's pronounced running back. Injuries. Washington activate running back Geis off IR. Okay, well, you're in trouble anyways, so that was bad.
All right, that was solid for opening it up. I can't believe I missed out on the Tyrone Williams thing. Where's he at right now?
2 catches.
I know, but where's he at on the screen?
I don't know. Oh, right there. He's inside at the bottom.
Please tell me Scotty's next.
He might.
He's the black one at the bottom of the screen, not the white one.
Oh, can you please tell me Scotty's next?
All right.
All
right. Go ahead.
God.
3, 2, 1, go.
Skins place left tackle Williams on NFI ending his season. Really bold move by NFL.com to start and end their headlines with Redskins news. Mid-season All-Pro team Patriots Saints aplenty. I mean, I could think of like 7 different headlines to use instead of with words that aren't aplenty. Antonio Brown set to meet with league next week. Said to be discussing some tweets that came out today. Saints DC Allen wants second shot as head coach. Who gave this man a gun? Lamar expected to play versus Bengals despite illness. Who?
Lamar.
Lamar
Odom?
Lamar.
Yeah.
Who's that Tex? Oh, that Texans running back, right? Browns Inc. center Shredder to 3 years extension. What? I didn't know ink was. I'm just using ink as a verb here. Adams Jets make amends after deadline drama. What'd they do? Did they hug? Jackson surges to number 2 in Week 10 QB rankings. It's weird that they use Lamar in one headline and then Jackson in another when they could have just, been here. Injuries. Redskins activate running back Juice knee off IR. Again,
Nice.
no one gives a shit.
All right. Solid.
Was it?
All right. Who's counting me in? Thanks. No one. Not everyone volunteer at once.
3, 2, 1.
Skins place left tackle Williams on NFI, ending his season. Tough to end something that never started. Mid-season All-Pro teams, Patriots, Saints, aplenty. Going along with Zack, aplenty. Good way to use a $10 word. Antonio Brown set to meet with league next week, flying a hot air balloon into Manhattan. Saints defensive coordinator Allen wants second shot as head coach. Needs a second shot of tequila if he thinks people forgot about the Raiders mess. Lamar expected to play versus Bengals despite illness. He's got too much drip. Too much drip to play against the Bengals.
Okay.
Browns Inc. center Shredder to 3-year extension. Extension says this is not the center that we want. Adams Jets make amends after deadline drama. Made Adams pinky swear he'll never be shopped again. Jackson surges to number 2 in Week 10 QB rankings. Give me Deshaun Jackson over Lamar any day. Injuries, Redskins activate running back Geis knee off IR. Knee says, I'm good. Bill Callahan's going to run me to death.
Browns Inc. center. I hate that. I like phrase.
Ink. I like ink.
It's like, what are the Browns an octopus?
Guys, you made me eat.
Why didn't you use that? That was a lot better than what you said.
Yeah, well, I did use it just now.
Yeah, that's good.
Thanks.
All right, that's our show.
Hope you stay tuned.
That's our show.
That's our show.
That's our show.
All right.
Check out our friends, the Deplorable Sports Podcast.
We got $1,000.
Mike, Chris, and Eric.
Yeah.
Good guys.
See ya.